Hey everyone, this is Andra, the Traveling and Saving Chief, and thank you so much for tapping or clicking on this video. This will be where I share my next debt confession update from my debt free marathon. I have been on this marathon since October of 2023 and really getting serious about getting out of debt and paying off all these different things, the debt that just holds me down. And I'm happy to share this update with you. This will be my first update as a retired person. I recently retired from the US Air Force after 30 years on 1 September of 2025. So my income is going to be changing drastically. And I do have an idea of what it is going to be. I did receive an update from my veterans disability claim. So that'll be coming up in a video to come. But in this particular video, we are going to discuss the debt-free marathon. If you're new here, I want to go through what the original plan was. That way you have a good sense of, where I started and then where I am today. And in addition to that, I do have a playlist on my list of playlists on my channel that you can feel free to go back to the first update. And initially I was only updating once I paid something off, and then I started to do those updates monthly. So we'd have a better sense of the progression and where I'm at today. So super exciting. And so I had originally started with 10 debts. So these are the 10 debts that I had originally started with in my debt free marathon. I call it a marathon because I've ran a marathon and this is kind of like a marathon. It's long, it hurts, and there's victory at the end when you get finished. And I am looking at that finish line just up ahead. Not quite there yet, but let's talk about it. So the first debt was a Disney Vacation Club, and I am a Disney Vacation Club member. I do have two separate interests in Disney property. I do go pretty frequently. I've also used Disney Cruise Line, so for me, it was a good purchase. I mean, at the time, in hindsight, I don't know. Would I have done something differently? Who knows? Maybe. But here we are. So that's the first one. I had a balance of $3,226 at that time at 14.5% interest. I wanted to get that done in October of 2023 when I first started. So this was the first debt that I wanted to pay off, and I paid it off. So that was a good start to this. The second one was a Discover card. The Discover card that I had here was a balance transfer card. So the balance at that time was $2,201 at 0% interest. My projected stop date for that one was January of 2024, and that is what I did. The third debt was a City Simplicity card. At the time, I had a balance of $2,327 at 0%. I projected to pay that one off in April of 2024, and I did so. The fourth debt right here is a Disney Vacation Club loan. That was the second interest in their property that I had gotten a couple years after I got the first one. So this one was for $3,567 at 11% interest. And I wanted to get that one paid off July or August of 2024, and I did pay that off in July of 24. The City Thank You card. So the City Thank You card, y'all, the fifth debt, that is something we are going to talk about today and potentially celebrate. So at the time, this was the fifth debt of the plan, and you'll see other check marks because I had to rearrange. So for the fifth debt, $4,366 was the balance at that time at 0%. I wanted to pay that one off in August of 25, and let's see if I did that. So that was the fifth one. Next up is Best Buy City. That was the sixth debt of the plan. That was a $6,700 balance at 0%. I wanted to get that one paid off in January of 25, according to this plan. But what I had done with this one is I was working a 100 envelope challenge and a 52-week challenge. So I decided to expedite the sixth debt, the Best Buy City card, and get that one paid off in September of 2024. So that one got paid off sooner than what I had projected. The next one is a USAA Visa card. This one has come with me into retirement, and we planned on that. We knew that. The seventh debt, $6,930, so $6,930 was the original balance when we started at 4%. I am anticipating also that 4% is going to change because I'm not on active duty service anymore. We'll see. I wanted to get that one paid off in April of 25. That one we are still working on, and I'll provide a more specific update for that one. The Amex Delta Sky Miles card. I do still use this card. I do keep it at a zero balance. So I do get my Sky Miles the way it should have been being used way back here. But I did start with a $7,000 balance, and this was like my Achilles heel card. Like I run it up, pay it down, run it up, pay it down, run it up, pay it down enough to get gas in the car. It's just a hot mess. So that's that one, and it was at 11.74. I wanted to get that one paid off in August of 25, but I expedited this one as well. So after I had gotten done with the Best Buy City, then I started to tackle the Amex, and I got that one paid off in January of 2025. The Amex USAA card. This was my Felix, my fur baby, who passed away in September of 2023. These were final vet bills of $5,244, and this one was at 4%. I was going to work on getting that one done by October of this year, so I was going to bring this into retirement, but this is an emotional card, so I wanted to get that one. I just wanted to be done with it. So I got that one done in May of 25. Then lastly is the Macy's card at $8,000. So Bestie Sheila is here, and maybe she will come and say hello to the people here in a moment. She's going to show us her hands and say hello.
Hi, guys.
Look at her beautiful nail polish. So $8,275 at 0%. And I am working to get that one done in January of 26. I probably am going to have to make an adjustment on the Macy's card and balance transfer that somewhere, because I am also anticipating that one to go to a much higher rate because I'm not on active duty service. So we will keep a close eye on those couple of cards. Let's do this update though. So as I flip to the page, you'll see we are using the 100 Doodles to Disney by debtfreecharts.com, and Donna, powered by creativity, made me my little debt-free marathon worksheets. These ones that we're going to look at. Let me flip to the right page. And we're going to start with the city. Thank you. All right, so for the city thank you, let me zoom in a bit. So for the city thank you, we are... I didn't even carry over all the rest of the numbers. My bad. You know why? Because it's it's $0 that we owe. I paid this sucker off. So the city thank you card is a zero balance. I'm going to insert a picture here. I don't even inserting pictures of my zero balances, but it is to be celebrated. So clap, clap, clap. We had a $1,700 ending balance from the July update. These are out of order, so don't pay any attention. So for August, we had $1,700 left, and the minimum payment was less than $50 and 0%. And I paid that off. So this one is good to go. We are going to finish coloring in the doodles for the tracker. Now, I realized as I was preparing for this video that I did not bring my same highlighters. So we got to use some substitutions, and that's what we're going to do. So I'm going to actually put this behind this paper because I think it's going to bleed through. And I am going to speed you through me coloring in the rest of this tracker. Ta-da! We finished the city thank you card August of 2025, and this was the 5th debt of 10, but it's out of order, so we have actually finished. Let's check it off here as well. We have finished 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 of our debts from 10 original debts in October of 2023. And this was definitely some sacrifice and just definitely working on a budget and sticking to the budget. And it's done. Yay. All right, let's move on to the USAA Visa card. So for the USAA, let me make sure you can see what I'm doing. There we go. Okay, so for the USA Visa card, this is with me in retirement, which we know, we planned, we knew we weren't going to be able to get there. The math just did math. This is due every 23rd of the month. We started again with $6,930 in October of 2023. The current balance as of the start of August was $5,882.94 at 4%. The interest charge was $19.45. There was no minimum payment due, but I did pay $120 towards that because I definitely like to pay what the interest is for sure. And then I also put $100 on top of that. So the new balance is $5,782.39. And so for this one, each doodle on our tracker is $69. And I think we'll just color a doodle and a half. I may already have a half. I do. So I already have a half that's been started. So I'm just going to keep you with me. Obviously, the colors are not going to quite match, but it's still purple and it is what it is at this point. We are improvising with what we have. And I'm going to color this little shoe pink. So we have our pink and purple, my sorority colors. That is the USAA Visa update for the month. And now let's move on to the Macy's. So I guess these videos are getting shorter and shorter because we got less to talk about because your girl has less debt. Yes. All right. Macy's started at a whopping $8,275. Y'all, this was not just clothes. This was furniture because I've moved so many times to different states over the last 6 years. Moved from Michigan to Texas to Colorado, back, over to Maryland and all that good jazz. So this was not just like frivolous clothes and shoes and stuff. It was housewares and that sort of stuff. Still too much. All right. We have a payment due on the first of each month. I have it on auto pay. The balance was $6,906 at the beginning of August. This one's still at 0%, but like I was saying, I am definitely concerned about this interest rate. We'll see what happens with Macy's, what I'm going to end up doing with it. Zero interest was charged. Minimum payment is right around $70. It keeps adjusting because the balance has been going down. I did pay $101. I don't remember why I paid an odd. I don't know, you guys. So I ended up with a balance of $6,805 for the Macy's, and each doodle is $83. So we will do. I already have a partial one colored, and then so we'll finish that one, and then we'll color the whole next one. So let's finish the little hand here with the little glove, and then I'm just going to kind of color a little bit of that purple because it's definitely going through. Yeah, a little bit. Okay, so that's Macy's. So we are all updated on the Macy's. Let me zoom you back out a little bit. Okay, so the update is done on that part. I will also just, in case you're new, if you're here, you've seen me go through this. I did also pay off a $33,600 loan that I had. This was more credit card foolishness that I had consolidated into one payment. So I freed up this cash flow. This was it originally started over $700 payment, and then it was a $500 payment when I moved it over to a Discover loan at a little bit lower interest rate. But this is done. So we paid off in the meantime of all the other debts that I've discussed on the original 10 debt plan. We also paid off this $33,000 Discover loan. In addition to that, so that's that tracker chart. In addition to that, I did also pay off my Toyota Prius, and I had that one in my loan section. There's my title. So we got that done as well. And when I started with that one, we had in January of 25, we had a over $7,000 balance on that one too. So we've definitely made a lot of good progress. But for our totals, we are only counting the original 10 debts that we had. So we started with $48,594 of debt. That was our beginning balance. So now I just need to go back and add up the amount that's remaining, and we will do our percentage to see what we've paid off so far. So I've added the $5,782.39 with the $6,805 for Macy's. And the remaining is $12,587.39. And then we are going to do the subtraction just to see what we have paid off and do our percentage. $36,006.61 divided by our original. We have paid off a whopping 74% so far in this debt-free marathon. So we are almost 3/4 of the way paid off, and only 1/4 remains to get this thing done. And like I said in the beginning, I will be talking about my change in income and then what that means to my different savings challenges and the items that I'm working on to save money to go towards my goal of getting out of this mess. So I appreciate you so much for being here. Thank you for always being so supportive of my journey, and I will talk to you guys in the next video.